right, so welcome to the RBC 0 to 500 Championship Tournament.
Welcome, welcome.
Tonight's action will be the first of potentially two 24 board matches. It pits the undefeated B.FUCHS squad against the COHEN squad. The COHEN squad gets here tonight after actually losing the second overall match of the tournament to this very same Fox squad. They lost a close match. I think the final was 47 to 38. That was in the second overall match of the tournament, and here we are in match 16, I believe. So 7 teams have been eliminated. Yeah, match 16, and they are rematching. The advantage this time to the Fox squad because they only need to win one of 2 matches. So what we're doing right now is just waiting on one more player to get online, and then we'll be all systems go. Audrey and I are going to commentate here for 12 boards. Then we'll set up the second half of the match and keep on going. We'll just talk about whatever comes through here, maybe a little team strategy, maybe some neat bidding stuff will come up or some neat card play. What I'm kind of imagining doing is mainly following the table that usually what happens is one table will fall a little bit behind the other table. And we'll probably follow the action on the table that lags just because we'll already have a result from the other table. So I think that'll be an easier way to do it generally. And also, we can always see what the auctions were at both tables, what the card play was. If that becomes interesting, we can turn on deep finesse for the contracts that get played at the table we're observing. Just a lot of neat stuff that we can do with this telecast here today.
Yep. So this is the nature of a double elimination tournament. Is that right? Where there was a winner's bracket and a loser's bracket. And if you lose once, you went to the loser's bracket. And if you lose twice, you're out.
Yeah.
And so the winning team here is the
winning team is Fox, and
they've never lost.
That's right. So you're always going to have a team that gets to this final with no losses and a team that gets here with 1 loss.
Okay.
And I'll actually show you what this looks like here. This is duplicated on the RBC website, but you have a bracket. So up here at the top is basically your winner's bracket. You can see Fox beating COHEN, then they beat Getz, then they beat Hinshaw to get here. Whereas after COHEN lost this first match, only by 9 to the Fox squad, they came down to the loser's bracket. Here beat Hulbert, Eastwood, Sajevich, Getz, Hinshaw. They've just been laying waste to the loser's bracket and now meet again for a potential revenge match here against B.FUCHS squad.
All right.
We are still waiting on one person to get online, it looks like.
I'm going to do
dog
duty for a second.
All right.
There's a misbehaving dog.
Yep. We have a dog named Ozzy, and about this time of night, about 7 o'clock, is what we refer to as Oz o'clock, because that's usually when she crashes. She has not yet crashed tonight. Hopefully she will soon and allow us a peaceful telecast here. So one more thing about the format of tonight's match. Overall, it's a 24 board match. You'll just add your imps from one half to your imps for the other half. At the halfway point, the team that's behind on the scoreboard will have the option of changing table mates. Bless you.
Excuse me.
Make sure we get this right. Okay, I think she's online now. And we will create team match and be away we go.
And you're sharing your screen already?
Yeah.
All right.
And for a lot of these matches, the individual competitors have actually been setting them up, but I'm setting up the tournament for tonight just to make sure we get started and no problems and all that good stuff. So we'll start with table 1, I suppose. Features the anchor pair for the number 1 seed here. This is Brian Fox and Jason Teeter playing the Schroeders. That's Margie and Doug. You're gonna wish them good luck here in the chat.
Good luck all. So on this first hand, we see a really large spade fit by north-south. And North has a hand of it all is open. It's only got 11 points, but it's got 6-card spade suit. So I'd always open that. And they're going to get to a game, hopefully.
It looks like South has used some form of force and spade raise here. Jacoby raise, and in theory, North's force spade rebid ought to deny any shortness and kind of show a minimum type opening hand. Now, by my standards, this isn't a minimum, but Brian has chosen to treat it as such.
So one thing you might choose to do with the South hand instead of a 2-no trump bid is to do a splinter bid.
So tell
What do
our
you
audience
think?
a little bit about splinters.
Well, splinters are designed to help you get to a thin slam. I think is how I think about splinters. It's like if I can point out my shortness, and if we have all our high cards in the other suits, all of a sudden you don't need a full 33 points to make slam if you have a good fitting hand. And it also but it needs to be a tight range, because you can't splinter with all just simple game forces and all your slam interested hands, because partner won't know whether or not to go on or not. And so I think this hand with the 5 trumps, basic, was it like 12 points game forcing values, would have been a good hand to do it. But with the ace queen of diamonds, the North hand isn't super excited about it.
I guess the theory would be just that he had an 11 or 12 point hand, North did.
Mm-hmm.
And you're wasting half of your hand high card point wise opposite partner shortness, which is basically, double dipping, I suppose you'd call it, or duplication of values. Maybe you'd much rather have something like 4 small in that suit.
Right.
So that basically you're roughing 3 tricks in the dummy and wasting 0 of your high card points on those.
There's not much to this hand. It looks like they're just going to be off 2 aces.
And they've gotten 4 spades at the other table. Is that true?
Yes, they did.
Audrey's got a tertiary laptop here that's keeping an eye on the second table. Sometimes we'll toggle back and forth here on the telecast as well, but certainly looks like the other table's headed for 450 as well, and we should have a push on board number 1. So one thing you'll notice here on the screen that we're sharing is there's a scoreboard on the left side that's going to be constantly updated as results pour in. This is only for kibitzers and like the director. The competitors actually won't be seeing the scores updates. That would be called barometer if they could, but we're trying to simulate real knockout competition here where you would not know what the score was as you were playing the match. South has a pretty good hand here. It's 4-4-4-1. If North-South are employing support doubles, South's 2 spade would show a definitely 4-card raise, and you would double to show 3 of them. Support doubles are something I highly recommend. That's a opener, responder, overcall, and then we double to show 3 cards in responder suit. Pretty good convention for you, very useful. Frees up the raise to definitely show 4, and you're really not giving up anything. That's always one question you want to ask yourself about any conventions that you use is, what are we giving up? And here, basically, the answer is nothing. Okay, so he's made the double here with 4 hearts and 6 clubs. It's pretty good aggressive bridge. And West bid 3 clubs. They found their 10-card club fit here. It looks like North or East West is going to be off a heart, a diamond, and two spades for plus 110. In just a second, you ought to see that result from the first board pop up. And in fact, at this point, this table's gotten a little ahead, and we are going to toggle over to the other table. Looks like East West has this result well in hand. Should just be plus 110 to East West for three clubs making. So we'll see if the auction progresses the same way here. The East at the other table did. I really like the auction that got conducted. You know, it was a diamond pass a spade, and then East backed in white on red with a takeout double with four hearts and six clubs. And hopefully you're not too tempted to act with this West hand like nothing fits. You've got a hand that would have opened the bidding, but nothing to do, and both Wests passed the test here.
Yeah, passes a perfectly reasonable bid.
Okay, so here East does not make the takeout double, and probably North-South are headed for two spades unless East wants to operate on the theory that it's not good to let them play at the two level when they have a fit, and might, I suppose, back in with a double after two passes here.
That would be
It's possible that West could double here as well. But what's going to happen if they play two spades here? You're going to score. Oh, West just bids three clubs on her own. How did that? Wow.
On
his own.
Yeah.
On a 4-card suit in a live auction. Okay.
Well, he has struck gold for sure.
Let's hope his partner doesn't just raise him to 5 clubs or something. North competes to 3 spades here. This 3-spade bid really ought not be constructive as far as like inviting a game. It ought to just be based on a 5th trump. And now East competes to 4 clubs, which should be down 1. What was 3 spades doing? Losing a heart, a club, a diamond, and perhaps a ruff. If they'd laid down the ace of diamonds, crossed the ace of clubs, and gotten a diamond ruff.
Yeah, so now East can't resist bidding 4 clubs with the 6-card trump support.
And assuming that they play spades when they get in with the ace of hearts, this should be. Oh, wow, this should be making 4. I guess I just miscounted it at the other table. I thought that
Right.
North-South won the first trick. So this is going to be a push. Both tables are going to go plus 130. I suppose it's possible that East-West picks up an imp here if North-South doesn't cash out spades. However, South has the ace of hearts and is just going to lay down the ace-king of spades. So this is going to be a push. We're moving back to the other table. Nothing super interesting has happened on the first 2 boards, both tables pushing the results. All right, what do we have here? Diamond followed by double, spade, 2 clubs, and we took them back to 2 diamonds. And we are going to be losing a couple of hearts. The trumps are 2-2, so we're going to be able to rough out the clubs. And we're actually making 5 diamonds for plus 150 to the Fox squad at table 1, board 3. We'll toggle back to the other table.
Yeah, there's no reason to be raising to 3 diamonds here, is there? Instead of just bidding 2 diamonds.
I actually didn't see really all the cards before they started playing, so we're going to see an auction here in just a second.
It looked like just a 7 count, 5, 4, 3, 1 hand with 4 diamonds and 5 spades. Yeah, I think it was a very good auction.
But 5 diamonds requires a lot of tricks. What does 5 diamonds really need? Did I miss something again? Did they just cash 3 hearts at the other table?
On which board are you on?
On this one. Where did the heart go? Oh, they let a spade. That's what happened. Okay, so they could always take the first 3 hearts, but they chose to leave a spade perfectly reasonably. I mean, North did bid spades, so maybe you'd cash the ace king of hearts first. I don't know. I imagine that we're going to see South ending in some diamond partial here and probably making 4 or 5.
So this is a good question on opening leads. You know, you said you've got 2 sequences. Why would you select one over the other?
Pretty sure the ace king generally takes precedence, and here even more so because it's a suit that the opponents haven't bid. Also, it's a 3-card suit, so it's more likely that you're cashing 3 tricks in that suit if the name of the game is to cash your tricks right away, which it is here. Like against 5 diamonds, it would be absolutely imperative that you cash the first 3 hearts.
Right.
Well, we'll see what Bill chooses to do here. I imagine he's going to be on lead in about 15 seconds. Both teams just kind of jockeying, walking around the ring right now. Haven't even seen any punches thrown. He does lead the ace of hearts. A nice play by East here would actually be to play the queen of hearts here. If you buy the theory that, first of all, West wouldn't be leading the ace without the king, and second of all, has to have at least 3 hearts for the takeout double. The queen is a no-cost play here, and it says, partner, I have the suit from here on down. And it could be important on some layouts, like maybe, you know, this is your one chance at an entry, and you need to, say, push a club through on some different layout. The queen of hearts lets your partner know he can safely underlead the king and get to your hand. So here they've just played the first 3 rounds of hearts, and it's actually going to be 1 imp to the Fox squad, and they're going to take a 1-0 lead after 3 boards. All right, so tuning back into board 4, West has a nice 5-5. This is about 4.5 losers, not enough to jump shift. I think we're going to deal with a simple 2 club bid here. And then if partner does something like take a preference to 2 spades, maybe you bid one more time.
See, South has a potential chance to get involved here. He's got a nice shapely hand.
6-4, yep. Very close to the average hand. I see ace, king, queen, jack, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 2, but no 5 or 3.
2 10s, 2 9s.
We'll see if Jason ventures a 2-heart call here. You know, 2 hearts is not without some risk here. You are vulnerable and you have poor intermediates. That being said, you are 6-4. He's chosen to pass, and I think that's reasonable.
Sure, sure. You know, on some auctions, he might get to come back in with 2 hearts.
Let's see if East can find a 3 club raise here, and they ought to be. Wow, East is going to be 3-0 instead. Okay. Yeah, that's good. West is going to let that go. If he leads the king of hearts, this is in trouble. 5 clubs turns out to be the game here. And I think I'm just going to have the editor take that out. Again, Brian has a chance here to make the nice play of the jack of hearts, just to, you know, alleviate any thought that his partner might have that it's not safe to lead a second heart. But he plays the 3, and now, you know, his partner might switch at this point, fearing that he's leading into the ace jack. But what do I know?
And he finds the right continuation.
No thanks to partner, unless they are playing upside down, which is possible they are, I suppose. The jack of hearts is the clearest thing you can do.
Right, jack of hearts.
Okay, they are playing upside down. Okay, so
yeah,
the 3 is the second best thing you can do.
Right, right.
A little bit unfortunate for East-West here that this club hook loses.
Yeah, so now South should be able to count and to know when is the appropriate time to overtake. You see, he has 1 more heart than the North hand. So, but he only has 1 high heart. So he's got to remember how many hearts. I mean, the contract's just going to go down regardless, but to get all their tricks, he needs to not take the queen on this trick, but on the next trick.
And we'll see if Jason's been counting. He does have the ace of diamonds as a backup play. But very nicely done there.
Yes.
And they're going to collect 3 100 under trick bonuses here for plus 300 and a very good result. Let's shift the action to the other table. Oh, looks like East-West is headed for clubs here.
Let's see,
And
their auction
assuming-
proceeded differently because South did overcall 2 hearts, kind of screaming out the danger of the heart suit. And now that also allows West to show a real club suit. Over the 1 no trump forcing, when South passed, 2 club, is often on only 3 cards. So when we interfere with 2 hearts in the South, and now you go ahead and bid 3 clubs, you're showing at least 4 clubs and a pretty good hand, I think, to keep bidding.
Yep, absolutely.
So that decision about the 2 hearts, not to overcall it, actually is what kind of led them to be able to defend 3 no trump.
Yeah, I think that's less of an indictment of 2 hearts than it is just to kind of a reminder that seemingly random stuff sometimes influences. Here it's going to be 300 and 600. It's going to be what, 14 or 15 imps to the Fox squad here, basically on the whether or not they ever called 2 hearts. By the way, here we missed as we're talking about something else, but it probably was not worth taking the club hook at team scoring. At match points, you would certainly take the club hook here because there's not that much of a risk of getting a rough, but I believe that as soon as I got control with the West hand, I would have just laid down the ace of clubs, not worried about, something stupid happening like losing the club finesse and then ace and a diamond rough.
That's a really good point.
All right, so Fox well on their way to, we have an imp chart here. I thought there used to be an imp chart somewhere. I think it's 14 or 15 imps that they're going to pick up here. Meanwhile, back at the other table. South has opened a club in 3rd chair with 18 highs. West overcalls a diamond. East makes a nice raise to 2 diamonds. South makes a nice takeout double. West continues and competes to 3 diamonds based on the known 9-card fit. And we'll see if South gives up here. South does give up.
It's a nice auction.
Yeah, it is a nice auction. Looks like if North were declaring hearts, you potentially make a lot of hearts here.
Yeah, I could see potentially making one more try with the South hand, but you only, you might feel better about it if you had 4-4 in the majors.
I think I actually would have bid 3 hearts with the North hand after 3 diamonds when partner made the takeout double, and we have 6 hearts.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, that's a good point. You don't have much in the way of highs. You also had Queen 3rd of diamonds was your only points, right? So in a way, it doesn't look like a great hand, but you have 6 hearts
In a suit that partners promised with the takeout double.
Right.
And partner should have you covered here and have a pretty good hand. And he heard you not bid the first time and still backed in with a takeout double. So, and in fact, I think maybe Jason's done justice to his hand with the double of 2 diamonds and then selling out. But I would be tempted actually to double 3 diamonds for takeout as well. So his declarer stuck himself with a heart loser here by pulling trump prematurely.
It looks like, well,
Looks like it.
So what would be the right
So now he's going to
play?
lose a club and a heart. And this is going to go off 1.
So you said it was prematurely. So what do you think?
Let's go back to the other table so we can see all the cards. So before we pulled trump here, we needed to rough the jack and the 4 of hearts.
Okay.
And now you would come to 5 diamond tricks, the ace of hearts, the ace of spades is 7, 2 heart roughs is 9. Where in actuality, you made the mistake of pulling trumps, 2 rounds of trumps, and then he gets stuck with this losing heart in his hand, right, for down 1. All right, so Fox with another good result in the bag there with a plus score on a part score deal. 3 hearts would have been nip and tuck, it seems like. And back to the other table.
What's nip and tuck mean?
I think nip and tuck means close, but let's go to our first.
Touch and go is what I would say for close.
Touch and go definitely mean nip and tuck. Closely contested, neck and neck.
Okay, I didn't.
I win Wikipedia round 1.
So
Audrey
here-
suffers under the illusion that I don't know what a lot of words mean.
No, you know a lot of words. You're constantly putting new words in your vocabulary. And I'm like, I've never heard you use that word before. Here is an example: nip and tuck.
Especially
What
for
is
someone who
that?
doesn't read.
So at the other table, the auction, they were allowed to play 2 diamonds. Did the auction proceed similarly?
Oh, right. Let's see. Here, South never made a takeout double, which is a mistake. You need to make a takeout double with a nice hand and a singleton diamond here when it rolls back around to you at the 2 level.
Oh, well, East
Also
did a
didn't support diamonds, did she?
did a spade.
Did
And
a
so
spade.
takeout double is less attractive now with only
That's true.
3,
That's
4
fair.
and the other suits.
So you'll notice that Bill is roughing his hearts here before. Like now he can play a diamond to the ace and rough a heart, and that's fine. He can pull 1 round of trump at this point. Actually, if he plays a spade towards his hand at this point, I guess he didn't have to do it at this point. He's going to end up with making 4. 130 and his teammates 50 is going to be 180 for about another 4 imps. And we have like 20% of the way through the match here. The undefeated Fox squad is off to a hot start. Looking like it's going to be about a 19-0 deficit here for Cohen.
Okay, so head over to the other table. See what's happening over there.
Okay, at the other table, Cohen East-West finds themselves in 4 spades. They've taken the first 4 tricks. They have a heart. They have 2 spades. They have 3 diamonds and a club. That sounds like plenty of tricks for making 4 spades. So it looks like 650 to Cohen on board 6. And we'll go back to the Bill Rose Barbara Butte. I would guess that last name is pronounced. And Mitch and Gene Cohen.
See how the bidding goes.
Do you have this right? Gene Cohen, yes. We got about 24 high cards over there with West. I took off my gloves and my socks and still counting. It starts with 2 clubs. That's the right idea. You should be doing that with any balanced hand that contains at least 22 high cards. I would expect the East would bid 2 diamonds here, and unless you're, well, no matter what 2 diamonds is, you're bidding 2 diamonds there. I keep on falling back into the ether anytime I slouch. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports. We're covering the undisputed RBC 0 to 500 Intercontinental Team Championship. It is Monday night, November 23rd, 2020. These teams vying to be the first ever squad to hold this newly anointed championship. So we should see, you can use all your same systems here that you would use over 2 no openings. So we should see her transfer to spades. And I think if I were West, I might go ahead and, well, this is an advanced point, but I might go ahead and Q-bid 4 clubs if I thought that agreed spades, which it should. It's just an advanced Q-bid to say, look, I love what you're doing here. And I don't care if you've got a 0 count, we're playing 4 spades. And in case she's got an in-between hand, it goes ahead and shows a Q bid in support of a spade slam. Here he jumped to 4 spades. I guess that's my second choice, but the problem is like both bids commit you to 4 spades and one describes more than the other one.
Right. It might allow her to say Q bid a king of diamonds if she had it, in which case West's with a really great hand for spades and showing and holding all the key cards, by the way, might be able to take the reins. And
also notice it would be a really good slam if West held a small heart instead of a small diamond. Like if West's hand were ace king third of hearts and ace queen third of diamonds, you'd basically be gin for slam here. So I mean, even on this auction, if I were East, I'm a passer, I think, but I'd be a little bit worried that we'd missed a slam. But with the mirrored out heart shape here, basically you have 9 high card points just tackling 2 tricks instead of 3. You need a miracle diamond layout like King, Singleton, or Doubleton with South to make the slam here.
are you saying that with the actual East hand, which was like 6 scattered queens and jacks, you'd be worried about missing a slam after a super accept?
Yeah, after a super accept where partner opened 2 clubs, absolutely. And they're not too far from it. And like I say, we had the unfortunate duplication of values in the heart suit where it was ace king opposite queen X. So in essence, her queen of hearts is garbage. It might as well have been the deuce.
It's really hard for East to participate in any like helpful stuff though without a king or an ace to Q bid. So
I understand.
I guess you could be worried about it, and it's like, partner, I was worried about it when it makes 6, but I don't.
Change her queen of hearts and jack of diamonds to the king of diamonds, as you were suggesting. Wouldn't you really have wanted to hear a 4 club bid rather than 4 spades, which leaves you no necessarily safe room?
Oh yeah.
So a lesson here is use your bidding space. If you're going to commit to the 4 spade level, do something interesting along the way to maybe involve partner in case, here absolutely partner could still have a hand that makes slam. You have 24 points, and all you know about partner is that she's got 5 spades and she couldn't open the bidding. That still leaves room for 8 and 9 and 10 point hands.
That's a good point.
So this board's going to be pushed back to the other table, where it appears that Fox has made 180 and 1 no trump. Oh my, yeah.
That was an interesting animation.
All right, so through board 6, that's going to mark the quarter mark of our match for tonight. It's 24 board match, so at 6 boards, we're halfway through. The plan is to let both tables finish the first 12 boards, and we're going to take a 5-minute break, and then we'll restart the second half of the match. And this match is progressing pretty quickly, actually. We're about 25 minutes into the match, and we're a quarter of the way through. I'm not sure I've seen a match finish in under 2 hours. Not that it's necessarily important to be fast, but this is moving along quickly. So at the other table, North-South got to 1 no, and they've got 21 high cards. So it doesn't look like they'll be getting to a game here and creating a swing.
North has the third hand rule of 11, or yeah, rule of 20. That's what I meant. 11 points, 9 cards in the suit.
I'd be opening this hand no matter what seat I was in.
Oh, sure, sure.
So we're going to see 1 no here, and it's best to treat this as semi-forcing when you're a passed hand. It might be best to treat it as semi-forcing when you're not a passed hand, but certainly when you're a passed hand, North is free to pass this without a little bit of shape or extra high cards.
I'm a fan of the semi-forcing.
I'm a big fan of the semi-forcing no trumps as well. I think we switched to those 8 or 10 years ago and haven't looked back.
Yeah, you have to add a little bit of system to handle your hands where you're really betting that partner isn't going to pass a no trump. Where you really truly wanted 1 no trump to be forcing, but they're not. That's not that hard to handle. And then you get to play
If
one
you
no
can,
trump.
if you can trust that partner's only passing when she's got the balance minimum.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest thing that people worry about is like having the 3-card limit raised when they bid one no trump, and partner passing that. But even that's not a disaster. South has found a pretty conservative pass over 2 hearts here. I think I would have been bumping to 3 hearts, because if you keep North's range in mind here, he's got anywhere from an opening hand up to not able to commit to game. That's a wide range.
Like 16 or 17.
Yeah. So I think I would have given a little boost to 3 hearts here. 3 hearts would be off too many tricks. So I guess they've done well to stay in 2 hearts.
Yeah, they've done well to stay low.
But I must admit, I would be in 3 hearts down here. And if it were 2 of me playing north-south here, the Fox squad would be picking up even more imps.
Got a 4-1 trump break to contend with here.
Yeah.
So let's see. Looks like you've got ace king of clubs. I'd be trying to lead towards the king of diamonds. Got the ace of spades to knock out and at least 2 hearts. So just off the top, you're looking at, like, if things go well as declare making their plan, you've got a spade, 2 hearts, and 1 or 2 diamonds to lose.
One good thing about this is that West doesn't have an entry to push the queen of diamonds through.
Right, so I try to avoid leading diamonds myself if I could, and set up the spade suit.
Yeah, so I imagine that once we get the bad news here on the heartbreak, that's what we will be doing. Is going after spades. East best exit here is a club. And the 10 smushes the 9. The queen of a heart. The only problem with this is now it turns into no trump. And South can knock out the ace of spades.
Yeah, East just has all the stuff, so they're not going to get into danger.
Okay, so if she holds off the spades until the second spade, it's not obvious how North can get to all his good spades.
Ooh, that's a good point. Oh, yeah. There we go.
And that would be a good time for West to be giving count so that North could figure, or that East could figure out when to take the ace of spades. So here we haven't effectively severed the communications between the north-south hands, and they're going to end up with plenty of tricks to make their contract here. And you don't want to mess around with the diamonds here. You just run your 4 spades and fall on your sword for 110 and 1 more imp to Fox here. 40 raw score, 40 difference should convert to 1 imp. It'll be 21-0 Fox. They jumped a couple of boards ahead here. So it looks like board 8, Fox has missed, I say missed in quotes, a slam. Was it biddable? Well, being as how they were off the ace king of clubs and the ace of diamonds, I'm tempted to say no, it was not biddable.
Maybe they didn't, yeah.
They just went 3 hearts, 4 hearts, and they didn't lead a bullet. And it just turned into 5 spades and 7 hearts for making 6.
Yep.
And on this one, North is in 4 spades. Already lost 1 trick, looking like 1 more in spades, 1 more in clubs, and 1 more in diamonds for off 1. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to escape these 3 losers, but I've certainly been wrong before. Board 8 should not be super interesting. Board 8 should just be a matter of over tricks. Depending on what the lead is after the auction goes 3 hearts, check 4 hearts.
Would you consider opening the north hand with 1 heart?
No, with 3 hearts, I would consider opening it.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Oh, and almost as if on cue. It's a 1 heart opening.
I mean, it is 10 points. It is a crappy hand outside of hearts, though.
The offense to defense ratio is off the charts.
Now, however, it is only 6 losers, which,
that's true.
When you're talking about the losing trick counter and when you decide whether or not to open the bidding. So there's a little bit of judgment, I guess, that goes.
Yeah.
along with that.
I mean, I don't have any big problem with this. I'm just a 3 heart opener.
What maybe because you're so concentrated in hearts.
Yeah. The hand has 7 hearts and wants to play hearts as offense and has no interest in anything else. I call that a 3 heart opening. All right, so meanwhile, back at the ranch, south is temporized with 1 spade. That's fine. 1 spade's completely forcing. North walking the dog with 2 hearts. That's right. Having opened 1 heart, you just re-emphasize hearts here. East-west getting their club fit in.
That's quite an aggressive 2 club, if I recall.
That is a...
But he is a passed hand, I guess. So there's hopefully partner's not going to hang you.
Right, but I mean, I could take the logic the other way. Your partner could never call 1 heart. So 2 clubs maybe it should be a better hand than normal. It is going to attract the club lead, and it's going to be 2 more imps to Fox here.
Yeah, because they're going to get their 3 tricks.
At the other table, I think they just let a spade, which is totally normal, but they let a non-ace, and Declare was able to just rattle off the first 12 tricks. This match is going just super fast. 4 spades, as predicted, went down 1 here. Let's see what they get into on board 10. Alert, we have a shape that I've suggested opening 1 no trump with.
Is that 15 points?
It's 15 with 5, 4, 2, 2, where the 5 is a minor.
Right. So if you get your hand off your chest in one fell swoop there.
You should probably rebid 3 spades here. This is a pretty good hand.
Yeah, given that you've opened a diamond, now two spades is a king
It's
less.
the same hand without the king of clubs. Okay, good job here by Margie to go ahead and boost to 3 spades. I imagine Doug will carry the ball across the goal line, and they will be off 2 hearts and the ace of diamonds for making 4 spades. So potentially a pickup for Cohen here on board 10. If the other table decides to get conservative, either with East rebid or, I guess for some reason West could maybe not bid the game. But one piece of advice on team scoring is like, don't get too cute. Just bid games. They're in 4 spades. I don't see any way that this can go down. All right, back to the other table.
Okay, so we are still on board 8. This is they've got their 3 tricks, and now they're just they're trump tight now. So
yeah, not claiming for some reason. Oh, there's the claim. And it'll be 2 imps to the Fox squad for a 24-0 lead. So they kicked a field goal here to start off the second quarter. Board 9 was north-south going down in 4 spades at the other table. Does it have any shot to make? Would a diamond lead away from the king do anything for us? No.
No.
You still have to lose a diamond, a club, a heart, and a spade. How about East-West playing 4 hearts? What's that do? That makes a lot of tricks, doesn't it? I'm counting about 12.
In hearts, let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Potentially, if you're allowed to rough everything. Diamond, 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 spade. I guess you can only make 11 tricks if they never lead trumps.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens here. West, is that 8 clubs? It sure is. This is an interesting bid here. I think I'm a fan of just the gentle 2 hearts. And then lose my mind later on if called for. 3 clubs. Not in love with this call as it buries the heart fit.
Yeah, you've got a heart fit, and finding the 8-card major suit fit is the holy grail of bridge.
And it's not like it's a bad dummy for hearts. You're providing 2 kings and a void.
One thing I would say, we kind of teach people you want to play your long suits, and like when partner opens a no trump, you're always transferring to your long suit because that's where you take your tricks. And your hand is worthless if you're not playing that suit as trumps. That's less true here when partner opens a heart and you've got king third. You've got a fitting honor, you can trump spades right away. And then you've got that king of clubs, which may or may not be useful to partner based on their holding. But this is far from just a worthless hand unless you played in clubs. It's very useful.
We have
in
3.5
hearts.
tricks for hearts.
So I would
East in the tank here.
want to be raising to 2 hearts for sure.
I'm not really sure how East can take another bid here if West has a preempt with clubs. If your partner opened 3 clubs, I wouldn't be bidding with the East hand.
No, that's one of those where you just sort of vomit and pass.
Especially like your partner should never have 3 hearts for this 3 club call. And potentially if your partner to open 3 clubs and you're looking at this hand as a responder, you might talk yourself into a 3 heart advance on the merit, on the theory that, hey, maybe partner still got king and a heart or something like that, which we really shouldn't have on this auction.
To be fair, it looks like Barbara is disconnected, not thinking about her bid.
Yes.
So
It's just a coincidence that we're tanking at the same time. Let's go back to the other auction, action at the other table. So we see that Doug did wrap up 4 spades. Well done to East West on that one. Now he's playing a no trump part score. Having taken 4 tricks and having a 10 of diamonds and that's 5. And now I guess he has to take the club hook. I don't know what's gone on in the earlier play, but looks like he'll wrap up 4 more club tricks also for a tidy 150 to Cohen on board 11. And I'm just going to give these guys, or is she back at the other table?
yeah, she's back.
I'm going to go ahead and text to these guys that they're well ahead.
Yeah, they can take a break. All right, at the other table, it looks like the 3 club
Bought it. Oh, wow.
bid did not buy it. And
That is super lucky.
so, okay, so she just bid 3 hearts and then the 3 club bidder raised her to 4 hearts. And then it makes, so that is a swing, right?
Yeah. They got plus 50. Fox got plus 50 at the other table. So this is going to be a big swing, another 13 imps or something. And we're looking at a 37-0 Fox advantage.
Yeah. Yeah, so they did rough some things in the dummy there as expected and are going to make 10 tricks. So Lance, how's your pandemic going?
It's going all right. I don't really like people, so
Just hide out in your garage?
hang out my garage all day long, like the Weezer song.
Describe your garage here for those who haven't seen it.
My garage has 2 couches and a huge desk with 2 big monitors on it, and a bunch of baseball cards. What do you call that? Macrame that somehow glued to the table and then finished.
There's a poker table over there.
There's a poker table over there with a bunch of Stratomatic baseball cards. There's a whiteboard. There are tables and chairs from when we actually used to have live poker tournaments here every once in a while.
And bridge parties. We
And
have
bridge
a
parties.
bunch of bridge tables, like card tables over there.
There's a washer dryer. There's a
Yeah.
television that has watched possibly every show on HBO and Netflix during the pandemic.
Have you come to the end of the internet?
We are very near the end of the internet here in the garage. I mean the ABC Wide World of Sports Studios.
Back at the other table, they're starting a new board, board 10.
All right. Yeah, we'll go back to this table now.
We haven't talked about this. Oh yeah, we did.
We did.
They didn't open a no trump at the other table either.
And they just got to 4 spades. Here, South throws in a 2-heart overcall. I like that. West bids 2 spades, which ought to be 5 and dime, showing 5 spades and 10 points. This is close enough, I suppose. Yeah.
Good spade texture.
You have good spade texture. And East goes ahead and jacks it into 4. Sounds like the right idea.
And that's the
So this board will be
same
pushed.
place. So
Just
yep.
no way to go down. And it looks like Fox is going to have 5 touchdowns along with all the extra points headed into the half. I'm not going to put lipstick on this pig, Audrey. Things look bad for the Cohen squad here.
Yeah. The what's the team? Fox team hasn't really dropped anything. They're finding everything. They're being tough. They're bidding games. They're taking to heart that bid your games. Don't leave, just with a part score. They've done it all.
It's a tough formula to beat. They got to 5 clubs instead of 3 now on the one board. That was a little bit just fate's fortune there. But on this one, they got to the 4 hearts. They got to 4 hearts east-west.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the 2 biggest swings. The
That accounts
14,
for what, 25 out of 35?
Right. The others are just little piddly ones, which do add up, 2 imps, 2 imps, 5 imps, 1 imp. I mean, it adds up, but the big swings are the ones that add up and could go either, they can change a match.
Well, let's actually look at something that the Fox squad did to earn this 11 imps on board 9 at the other table where they got to the 4 spade, what turns out to be a sacrifice over 4 hearts. North opened this hand 2 spades, and I like that. I would either open 1 spade or 2 spades with this, and it's partly because you are white on red.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he opened a weak 2 in spades ended up propelling north-south into the par score of 4 spades. Par spot of 4 spades.
Because that's they didn't even necessarily know that 4 hearts was going to make. But
also, like on this auction, if you're south, I would just jam it into 4 spades at my first shot.
After 2 spade opening.
After 2 spade, 3 heart by right hand opponent, or 2 spades pass, I would bid 4 spades on the merits of 10 trumps and white on red.
Not expecting to make it, just
yeah. Who knows? I mean, yeah. As the cards lie, like 4 spades had a lot of chances, right? It took both minor suit finesses losing for 4 spades to go down.
That's true.
And at the other table, let's see. I guess I have to click on this to get back there, maybe. And let's pull up our history again so we can remind ourselves. All right, West was in 1 no trump, making 2 over tricks. Here they've let a spade into the ace queen. Let's pull up our little double dummy tool here. It says 1 over trick. And this is, you want to play the 9 of spades here, the lowest of equals, 3rd hand. And watch when the 9 of spades forces the queen, it should just make sense that that's a more helpful card for partner, right? Whereas if you play the jack or if you play random and he wins the queen, what's that tell you?
exactly. You can't tell for sure if you're the north hand when the 9 forces the queen. You can't tell for sure who has the jack and the 10, but it leaves open that possibility. When I'm playing with you and I see you play the jack there, I know you don't have the 10, and if I'm looking at the king, I know
Not leading into the jaws of the ace-10.
Declare has the ace-10 remaining, so I won't lead it.
All right, so he's going to wrap up also 8 trips. This is going to be a push. Let me remind myself of what happened on 12. There was 3 spades. North-south making anything? They lose a heart and a spade and a couple of diamonds. I can't see anything super interesting happening on 12. We'll let them have an auction. Unless they get to a game, we'll probably pause our coverage at that point and be back with you in a few minutes for the second half. And to recap here, it's the B.FUCHS squad all over Cohen here at the half.
Yep. It's theirs to lose at this point.
Theirs to lose, and 35 is not an insurmountable lead, but maybe we could go to Merriam-Webster.com and look for words that mean almost insurmountable.
Yeah.
Maybe insurmountable.
You'd have to fall apart.
Or just be, 3 swing boards would do it, but they're going to have to get. And really, if you're Cohen and you're looking at a 35 imp disadvantage at the half, what you're praying to the luck gods for in the second half is a bunch of crazy deals, where there's really a chance for swings. If they get dealt some, 1 no trump pass, or 1 no trump pass, 3 no trump hands that have nothing to the auction and nothing to the play, they're just 35 is going to be too much to overcome.
And that's a strategy point too. You'd be looking to induce some swings potentially if you're down that much, like potentially not bidding a game that was obvious, or obvious to you. For example, just say, hey, I'm going to bet that this game is going to go down, and so I'm going to stay low and hope to collect 7 imps with plus 200 and plus 110. Or maybe you bid a thin slam, things like that.
Right, basically looking for ways to introduce variance to the equation when you're down by so much.
Yeah, you've got to have some swings happen, and you've got to have them go your way when you're down by that much.
All right, North-South is declaring 2 hearts here. This is off a heart, a spade, a couple of diamonds, and a club. We're making 2, 110 at the other table. Their teammates went minus 100, so I think this is probably going to be a push, and we're probably looking at 35-1 halftime score. So at this point, we're going to pause our coverage and be back. Not that this is live. Well, of course it's live. We'll be back with the second half in about 10 minutes.